Boca.
Okay.
How big a deal was it that he scored that goal the other day?
No, it was a huge deal. I mean, I think I made the comment, first of all, what was he doing up there in a one-goal hockey game? And secondly, why Danks passing the puck? Because he had no goals, and Danks had 12, 13 goals. So I was a little surprised, but it was a huge goal in the game. I mean, that really was the backbreaker and sealed the win for us.
I know sometimes plus-minus ratings overrated, but he's got a plus 15 just to assess his play overall in general this year and maybe down the stretch here.
Yeah, he's played, I think, extremely well the second half of the year. I think that it's not, there's a correlation there between our team being really good the second half and Nick Boca playing well. And we've had a number of guys, but Nick's one of those guys whose game has really risen to the occasion. And maybe the numbers, the points don't show it, but obviously that plus minus does. And he's a good skater. He can go back, break the puck out, and you need that against good teams to relieve some pressure. And Nick's done a great job.
And one more question on Nick. How would you describe his personality, coaching-wise?
Well, he's all in. He wears his emotion on his sleeve. I mean, he gets to, sometimes his emotions get the better of him, and we've talked about that quite frankly, and he's been honest and upfront about it. And he wants to win. He's so competitive. Sometimes, he's got to just relax and play the game a little bit and not worry about all what I call the noise or worry about things you can't control. But you'd rather have a player like that where you've got to calm down a little bit instead of have to, kick him in the rear end to get him going. And Nick, there's no issues there. So he's been, like I said, a pleasure to have on our team, and he's been a real good player here the second half.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming by.
So, I read the Detroit News story earlier today, and before we mentioned Sliker being Mr. Third Period, I think we call it. Why do you think that? Why do you think that might be? Why do you think 10 of his 15 goals have come that period?
Well, I don't know. Some players are just like that. Sometimes the puck follows you, and you just get your break, so that's when it happens. And I can't really give you a reason why. There's no formula there. There's no real reason. It's just sort of happened.
I guess anything that. Is there anything in his personality you think, or is the way he is?
No. It's just a coincidence. I think he's good around the net and he's got good speed, and maybe it's because teams break down as the game goes on, and he's able to use that speed to get to loose pucks and put pressure on people. And just like he did in that game, I mean, just his speed and his pressure he put on the defenseman to make the error and then get the puck and take the shot. So. I think that could be some of it because he is a good skater. He's just as strong in the third period as he is in the first.
I know you talked about his skating ability, and then that's really do you think that's the way for his entire line?
Well, they all can skate. They all can skate. When they want to turn it up, I think they can skate as well as any line in college hockey, and that's one thing they have is they have speed on their side.
Is that skating ability? How do you think? And also, you've also mentioned that Sliker and Norris, very very versatile players. They each can play each other's roles. How do you think that helped this weekend against Northeastern BU, and how do you think it will help in the Frozen Four?
Oh, it really helps. I mean, they do a lot of things. They kill penalties. They're on a power play. They play 5-on-5. They play situations, and you get a lot of confidence in them by doing that. So they understand the game, and they can score. They can play well defensively. They both can take face-offs. I had Josh out with 17 seconds left in the Northeastern game, a freshman taking a face-off in our zone against, arguably one of the best guys in college hockey. So we have a lot of confidence in knowing that they can play a good all-around game.
Mel, this big. Oh, go ahead, Jake.
And then about the youth, Sliker, just a sophomore. What do you think it says about him that he was named the assistant captain as just a sophomore?
Well, that's his teammates, and so obviously he's got the respect of them, and he's got some leadership qualities, and I think he does that obviously by how he plays. He plays fast, plays hard, and is respected by his teammates. So we let the team pick the captains, and he was one of those guys. We had a number of guys, but he's obviously a good choice.
Yes, you consider him more of a vocal leader or just a leader by example?
A little both. He's not afraid to say some things in the locker room, and then he plays hard on the ice. So he's, where some guys don't maybe say much, like a Tony Calderon, but he plays hard, and other guys are a little more vocal. So.
Mel, when you look at the three teams from the Big Ten in the Frozen Four, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and yourselves, what does it say about this conference and I don't think many people predicted that 3 Big Ten teams would be in the Frozen Four.
Well, I think it says a lot about our conference. I think that goes to show you from top to bottom how good it was this year. You know, we got 4 teams out of the 16 in the tournament. Could have had 5. Minnesota missed by, just I guess a thousandth of a point not getting in. And it shows you the competition you're playing night in and night out. And I think that has helped all of our teams prepare for the tournament. So when you're going to play a Northeastern and BU, you play teams like that all year, so you don't have to rise to the occasion. You're used to that. So it's a great league. It's got great coaches. It's got some great individual players, and obviously it's got some great teams. So it's I think this is what everybody expected when the Big Ten was formed. And I think it's with the addition of Notre Dame, they were a Frozen Four team last year coming into our league. It's only made it stronger, and I think it's only continued to grow.
And on an unrelated note, what do you think about Brian going to Minnesota?
Who going to Minnesota?
The St. Cloud State
Bob
coach.
Motzko.
Bob.
Yeah, Bob Motzko. I've known Bobby for a long time, so we spoke a couple times in the last couple of weeks. So I have a lot of respect for Bob. He's done a great job at St. Cloud. He did a great job as an assistant when he's at Minnesota. He's been a good hockey guy. He'll do a great job there at the University of Minnesota. So congratulations to Bob and good luck.
What do you think about just a thought on Don Lucia for a second?
One of the best coaches ever in college hockey. I mean, his record will prove that out, and I think a great ambassador for the game. Always had, I think, the best interest of college hockey. Did a phenomenal job at a tough place in Minnesota. It's a little bit like I guess managing the New York Yankees, running the University of Minnesota hockey team. So. Good friend. We've known each other from our high school days in Minnesota, so sad to see him go, but I think he went on his own time and feels really good about it and left a great legacy at the University of Minnesota.
Coach, how many Frozen Fours have you been involved in, and any memories?
This will be, I think, my 12 or 13, so the 2 main memories are the 2 victories in 96 and 98. Great moments, moments that our players will cherish forever, and our staff and our coaches. So those were 2 highlights of it. But a lot of great games, and there's some heartbreaking losses in there too. Some triple overtime losses, but you'll remember the wins. But it's funny, you always remember those tough games too. But we're looking forward to getting back. I am. It's been a while. My last game as an assistant coach at Michigan was the national championship loss to Duluth in 11 in St. Paul. So it's just fitting that, like, first year back, we're going back to St. Paul, and you got 2 of the other teams that were there, Notre Dame and Duluth. So exciting time.
How is it different this year? I know on the coach teleconference this morning you mentioned it being bonus hockey for you guys. Do you think is it? Yeah.
Well, I think with this team, the expectations weren't maybe as high. Some years you're expected to get to the Frozen Four. You have that team, right from the get-go that you should be there and have a realistic expectation to do that. One thing we didn't set goals really with this team. We didn't want to put ceilings on it. We didn't want to say, let's finish home ice in the playoffs. Let's win so many games, because to me that's a ceiling. Then what do you do when you get there? And that's the beauty of it. But you know what? We found out around in January that we can play with anybody. That Notre Dame series really showed us that we could really play with anybody, and they're as good as any team. And we had 2 real good games, even though we lost them by 1 goal each night. I think that was the point. We, as a staff, we said, hey, you know what? We got a chance. We can just be consistent. But I think this team, with the expectations, picked 6 to finish in the Big Ten, coming off a sub 500 record, 13 wins. A lot of different things going on. I don't think the expectations were there. So it's a little surprising, but I don't. Maybe I should say it's unexpected, but I'm not as surprised as I would be, because we knew we had some good players, and once you get in the tournament, anything can happen. Anything can happen, and we've seen that. I've seen that this is my 24th NCAA tournament, something like that. So I've seen everything happen.
Chris, do you think there's maybe a looser, more freer attitude, or the way you play because of that?
Well, I think so. I think but you have something to prove too. So it sometimes encourages to play harder, put that little edge to that chip on your shoulder. And I think our guys did that. They're proud players. They're proud guys. They don't like to be told that you're not good and you're gonna not be good. And if that doesn't motivate you, if you're an athlete and that doesn't motivate you, then I don't know what will.
And I want to get back to the trip to Notre Dame. What specific happened there other than you had Norris and Quinn for the second
Right,
game,
right.
and
We
you
played well
mentioned-
here. We
mentioned
played well
Hayden.
at home.
Yeah.
We played home the first night, and we really had a great game. And we didn't have Norris, and we didn't have Hughes, and we didn't have Lockwood. And man, I thought we could have, should have won the game. I think we outchanced them in scoring opportunities, and we just didn't finish at key times. And then we went to Notre Dame, and we got Hughes back, and they came in and played extremely well. And another one-goal game, a tough loss. But I think then we just. You could see we're not far off. Like they're not. You don't walk out of the rink feeling like there's no chance. And I think that more than anything. And Hayden played well. Hayden started to get in his groove, and that really made a difference.
And then but you still need to win, and you went to
Right.
Minnesota and you swept them. And I know you mentioned that. I think Friday night you mentioned it was a very quiet bus ride over there. What do you think that? What do you think that was about?
Well, they were serious. I think we knew that it was a tipping point in our season because we were 2 games below 500. Overall, I'm not sure how many games below 500 we were in the Big Ten, but we didn't really talk about a record. We just talked about the next game and being better and growing as a team. And I think we played hard in Minnesota. It's a tough place to play. An Olympic sheet. We don't play on the Olympic sheet. There's some adjustment there, but we played a very solid defensive game and we won. And I think just after coming off the Notre Dame series and winning the game, now we had some mojo and we started to get some swagger to our game and some confidence.
Was there that kind of quietness or that seriousness? Was that the way all of them practiced that week?
I don't recall if it was, but I know we had good practices that week. This isn't really a quiet team, so when they're quiet like that, something's going on, and sometimes you need to be loose. But everybody's different. Some guys are very serious, some guys are a little more relaxed, and everybody's different how they approach the game and what gets them ready to play. But that night was a quiet bus. Maybe they're half asleep. I don't know.
And I guess just with those 2 weekends in all, do you think there was even maybe a wake-up call to some that the seriousness was there?
No, I don't think there's a wake-up call. I think it was just we just started to see that we could we could win. We just had to get better in a little bit, ask a little bit more from everybody else, and I think that's what happened in Minnesota. And then you got some confidence and come home. You played Penn State, and all of a sudden now you're rolling, and then it's like that snowball rolling down the hill. I mean, it just starts to grow and grow, and there's no stopping it.
You think that just having a really good game against Notre Dame?
Absolutely, that's serious. Absolutely, yeah,
shows what you can do.
no question.
Mel, just kind of talk about what the campus around here it's like. Obviously, with you guys going to the Frozen Four, basketball going to the Final Four, and baseball winning 8 in a row, softball 17 out of 18, women's gymnastics winning a title, and lacrosse winning 5 in a row and undefeated at home.
Swimming doing well in the NCAA.
It's got to be a good time to be a Michigan Wolverine right now.
It is. It's a great time to be at Michigan. But those are the expectations here at Michigan, and for every sport. I mean, we all expect to do well. We've got outstanding coaches here, great athletes in so many sports, and you can get some momentum from that. I mean, you really can. I mean, when you see other teams do well, you feel good about it, and you feel good about Michigan, and the positive vibe around here is fantastic right now. So, good luck to basketball and baseball. Keep it going, and softball. We got a nice note from them, from a video, and a nice note from Coach Hutch. So, thank you, and I know their turn's coming again pretty soon too. So, go blue.